Alexa Bliss may have just suffered the most brutal attack of her entire WWE career. What started as another chapter in a heated rivalry with Jade Cargill ended in absolute devastation. By the time SmackDown went off the air, Alexa Bliss wasn't celebrating a hard-fought performance. She was lying helpless in the ring, clutching her arm in agony after one of the most vicious post-match assaults WWE fans have seen in recent months. And now, after the show, Bliss herself has added even more fuel to the story. The former women's champion recently shared an Instagram story showing herself resting in bed with her right arm heavily wrapped in bandages and secured inside a sling. Wearing a face mask while recovering, the image immediately spread across social media, leaving fans wondering just how serious this injury really is. Whether you're looking at it from a storyline perspective or simply reacting to what unfolded on SmackDown, one thing is clear. Alexa Bliss has been taken out in brutal fashion, and Jade Cargill has just made one of the biggest statements of a WWE career. The road to this shocking attack actually began weeks earlier. Jade Cargill has embraced her role as one of SmackDown's most dangerous heels. Since arriving on the blue brand, she has built an aura around herself unlike almost anyone else in the women's division. Every appearance has carried the message that she isn't here simply to compete. She's here to dominate. But domination wasn't enough. She wanted to destroy anyone standing in her way. That mission brought her directly into conflict with Charlotte Flair. As one of WWE's most decorated female superstars, Charlotte represents everything Jade wants to surpass. Their rivalry quickly intensified after backstage confrontations, verbal exchanges, and increasingly physical encounters. The turning point came when Jade didn't act alone. She recruited allies. B-Fab and Mission stood by her side, giving Jade a dangerous numbers advantage whenever tensions escalated. Several weeks ago on SmackDown, Charlotte Flair found herself ambushed backstage. The attack was sudden, calculated, and effective. With B-Fab and Mission assisting Jade Cargill, Charlotte was overwhelmed before she even had a chance to prepare. The assault left her unable to compete properly heading into her Queen of the Ring semifinal match. It wasn't just an attack. It was a message. Nobody was safe. Charlotte Flair, however, has never been known for backing down. Instead of retreating, she waited for the perfect opportunity to strike back. That opportunity arrived at Night of Champions. Jade Cargill entered the event hoping to capture the Women's United States Championship and continue establishing herself as the unstoppable force of the women's division. Everything appeared to be going according to plan, until Charlotte Flair intervened. Charlotte's interference prevented Jade from winning the championship, costing her what could have been the biggest singles title victory of her WWE career. The score had been settled, or so everyone thought, because Jade Cargill wasn't interested in simply evening the odds. She wanted revenge, and if she couldn't get Charlotte, she would target someone Charlotte cared about. That someone was Alexa Bliss. Since returning to WWE, Bliss and Charlotte Flair have formed a close alliance, standing together against growing threats across SmackDown. Their friendship has become one of the brand's strongest partnerships, which also made Alexa the perfect target. Last Friday on SmackDown, Alexa Bliss stepped into the ring against Jade Cargill in a match that fans expected would continue the rivalry. Instead, it escalated everything. From the opening bell, Jade used every advantage available. Her overwhelming strength allowed her to control much of the contest, while B-Fab and Mission remained at ringside, constantly creating distractions whenever Alexa tried to build momentum. Every time Bliss appeared ready to fight back, another obstacle stood in her way. The numbers game proved impossible to overcome. Despite showing incredible resilience, Alexa simply couldn't keep all three opponents under control. Eventually, Jade capitalized. She connected with a devastating finishing move. The Jaded 1, 2, 3. Jade Cargill officially defeated Alexa Bliss. For most WWE matches, that would have been the end. Not this time. The real horror began after the bell rang. Instead of celebrating a victory, Jade refused to leave the ring. She wasn't satisfied. She wanted to make sure Alexa Bliss suffered. Moments later, a steel chair entered the ring. Fans immediately sensed something terrible was about to happen. Charlotte Flair rushed to the ring, desperately trying to protect her friend. But she never had the chance. B-Fab and Mission quickly neutralized Charlotte, pinning her against the corner and preventing her from reaching Alexa. Charlotte struggled. She screamed, She fought with everything she had, but she couldn't break free. Forced to watch helplessly, Charlotte witnessed one of the most disturbing attacks of the year. Jade grabbed Alexa's arm, placed it against the steel chair, and then violently drove her weight onto it. The chair acted as a lever, bending Alexa's arm backwards in a horrifying direction. The visual alone made many fans gasp. Alexa immediately screamed in pain. Rolling across the mat while clutching her arm, she looked genuinely unable to move. Medical personnel rushed into the ring almost immediately. Yet even as they attempted to help, Alexa reacted as though the pain was unbearable. She wouldn't even allow them to touch the injured arm. Her expression told the entire story. Something was seriously wrong. The attack accomplished exactly what Jade Cargill wanted. She didn't just defeat Alexa Bliss. She humiliated Charlotte Flair. Charlotte had been forced to stand only a few feet away, unable to save her closest ally despite desperately trying. Sometimes psychological damage can be even more effective than physical damage. Jade understood that perfectly. By hurting Alexa, she also hurt Charlotte, and that emotional wound may last even longer than the injury itself. Following SmackDown, WWE fans immediately flooded social media with reactions. Many praised the segment for raising the intensity of the rivalry. Others expressed concern after seeing just how convincing the injury looked. Then Alexa Bliss herself entered the conversation. Her Instagram story showed her resting in bed, wearing a facial mask while recovering, with her right arm completely wrapped in heavy bandages and supported by a medical sling. The image instantly circulated across wrestling communities online. Whether viewed as an extension of the storyline or simply a clever way to keep fans invested, the post succeeded in making the injury feel even more believable. It blurred the line between television and reality, exactly what great wrestling storytelling is designed to do. From a storyline perspective, the attack serves multiple purposes. First, it further establishes Jade Cargill as one of WWE's most ruthless villains. Winning matches is one thing. Attempting to injure opponents after the match is something entirely different. Jade has crossed that line. She's no longer just chasing championships. She's attempting to eliminate anyone who stands against her. That makes her even more dangerous moving forward. Second, the attack gives Alexa Bliss an opportunity to temporarily disappear from television if WWE chooses. Professional wrestling has often used storyline injuries to explain a superstar's absence. Whether someone needs time off, is dealing with legitimate physical issues, or creative simply wants to build anticipation for a return, these attacks provide a logical explanation within the story. If Alexa remains absent for several weeks, fans will constantly remember exactly why. Because Jade Cargill nearly destroyed her arm. Third, perhaps most importantly, this attack dramatically raises the stakes for Charlotte Flair. Until now, Charlotte has been fighting for pride. Now she'll likely be fighting for revenge. Watching your best friend suffer while you're powerless to stop it changes everything. Charlotte will undoubtedly want payback. Not just a victory, justice. That emotional motivation could make future matches between Charlotte and Jade far more personal than anything we've seen so far. Another interesting element is Jade's alliance with B-Fab and Mission. The trio has become increasingly effective through sheer numbers. Whenever Jade competes, her allies create constant chaos around ringside. Opponents don't just have to worry about Jade's incredible athleticism and strength. They also have to survive interference from two additional competitors. That advantage has allowed Jade to remain one step ahead throughout this rivalry. Eventually, however, WWE may build toward Charlotte and Alexa finding allies of their own. Should that happen, the feud could easily expand into larger tag team matches or even multi-woman battles before finally reaching a major singles showdown between Charlotte and Jade. For Alexa Bliss, this storyline may ultimately lead to one of the biggest comeback moments of her recent WWE run. Throughout her career, Bliss has repeatedly shown that she performs at her best when audiences have a reason to rally behind her. An underdog fighting back against overwhelming odds is a role she plays exceptionally well. If WWE keeps her off television long enough, fans may become even more eager to witness her eventual return. Imagine the reaction when Jade believes she's permanently eliminated Alexa, only for Bliss's music to suddenly hit weeks or months later. The arena would likely erupt. Of course, fans are also wondering whether the injury shown on television reflects any real-life concerns. At this point, everything presented on WWE programming strongly suggests this is part of an ongoing storyline designed to intensify the feud. Alexa's social media post further supports that narrative by extending the angle beyond television and keeping audiences emotionally invested. Until WWE announces otherwise, the attack should be viewed as a major storyline development rather than confirmation of a legitimate long-term injury. As SmackDown moves forward, all eyes will now be on Charlotte Flair. How will she respond? Will she immediately seek revenge? Will she challenge Jade Cargill to another match? Or will WWE continue delaying the inevitable collision until a premium live event where emotions are at their highest? Whatever happens next, one thing seems certain. This rivalry has reached an entirely new level. There's no going back. Jade Cargill has proven she is willing to break the rules, use numbers to her advantage, and injure anyone necessary to accomplish her goals. Charlotte Flair now has every reason imaginable to hunt her down. Alexa Bliss has been left recovering after a devastating assault, and the entire SmackDown women's division has been put on notice. If Jade Cargill is willing to do this to Alexa Bliss, imagine what she might do next. One brutal attack has completely changed the direction of SmackDown. Now the only question remaining is simple. When Alexa Bliss finally returns, will she be looking for redemption or revenge?